Hi, it's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. Glad you're back with me again. And I'm glad to get to read another chapter in the book, The Hermit of the Mad River. This is from the DJ Dillon series that I love. You all know that. And it's written by a man named Lee Roddy. Well, yesterday in chapter 3, the boys went to go talk to the hermit at Bad River. What was his name? Zeering. And while he was there, Zeering was crying because his dog had been killed by 2 large dogs and a pit bull. And when the sheriffs came, just happened to be coming by because of the threat for somebody blowing up the dam, they wanted to search his place and make sure there was nothing suspicious around. He told them, go ahead. Well, when they did, they found a box of dynamite in his cabin. Well, he said it wasn't his, but they arrested him anyhow. And the boys finished the last of burying Zeering's dog for them. But after a while, they heard the sound of 2 large dogs, and there was no place great to run, and you can't outrun a dog anyhow. So they went to climb a tree. So let's see what's happening now when we get to chapter 4. A mean dog named Boog. Boog. That's an unusual name. In a few minutes, DJ clung to the trunk of a young ponderosa pine and peered down 15 feet at 2 big dogs barking ferociously below him. 15 feet. That's like 3 women all standing on each other's head. That's pretty high. A third dog, a smaller pit bull, ran around a nearby Douglas fir with the deadly silent purpose. DJ could see Alfred safely perched there about 20 feet high. Alfred called, "They're the same dogs that jumped Hero in town." "Sure are," DJ agreed. He studied the pit bull as he stopped circling Alfred's tree. The small, heavily muscled dog placed his 4 feet on the trunk and stretched his muzzle upward towards Alfred. Ooh, he's got his feet up there and he's stretching towards him. The pit bull still did not bark. DJ wasn't usually afraid of any dog, but there was something scary about the bridle's silent, purposeful movements. DJ's eyes flickered back to the 2 bigger dogs. Below, they were barking furiously and leaping high against the tree trunk. They ripped chunks of bark with their powerful jaws before falling back to the brown pine needles that carpeted the forest floor. "Well," a man's voice came from the forest shadows. "Rudin, look what our dogs have done treed for us." DJ saw a bearded, long-haired man who bumped to him into the ground in town. A heavy rifle was cradled in the crook of his right arm. An equally long-haired colored boy named Rulin moved into the shaft of sunlight. He carried a smaller .22 caliber rifle. "Kinda spindly and puny, Pa," Rulin said with a short laugh. "I'd rather have me a good possum up there than that kind of human polecat." Polecat's another name for a skunk, a type of skunk. DJ held onto the tree limb with his right hand and cupped his left one to his mouth. How about calling off your dogs, mister? The man shouted at the dog. Ranger, Tig, shut up! Quiet, I say. Reluctantly, the animals stopped barking and jumping. They tucked their tails between their legs and slunk off into the shadows. DJ had a hunch Hero wasn't the only dog that man's boots had kicked. DJ watched as Roland called the bridle. Boog, come here. The bridle didn't pay any attention. He continued to stare silently at Alfred's tree. I said, come here, Roland repeated, running towards the powerfully built dog. Instantly, the bridle spun around and silently faced the long-haired boy. Roland stopped short in his tracks. DJ saw the bridle's hackles stand up on his neck. So that'd be this area. The hair was standing up. That's not a good sign. The lips curled back from his long fangs, but the dog did not bark or growl. Careful, Roland, the father called. You know that ornery cuss wouldn't mind nobody but me. Boog, come here. The bridle's hackles relaxed. Slowly, still watching the boy, the bridle moved towards the man. Roland's father snapped a short chain to the dog's wide leather collar. DJ sighed. Thanks, mister. He started climbing down from the tree, aware that Alfred was also easing down to the ground from his perch. DJ's heart raced as he watched the man chain the pit bull to the stout, thick roots of an uprooted black oak. DJ brushed off his clothes and thought quickly. He had found the people and the dogs who had hurt Hero. One was named Roland. Now what? DJ turned to check the other dogs. The big mastiff cross called Trig was sitting on his haunches by a stump. The German shepherd called Ranger had flopped down in the brown pine needles. The man demanded, Who are you kids? I'm DJ Dillon. He's Alfred Milford. DJ paused, and then the man only grunted. DJ asked, Who are you? Boo Rockner, the bearded man replied. The long-haired boy snorted. Beauregard. But you'd better not call him that if you know what's good for you. So he went by Beau, but his name was Beauregard. Shut up, the man snapped to the boy and then added to DJ and Alfred. That loud mouth, my boy Roland. The man suddenly bent his head slightly forward and stared at DJ and Alfred. Hey, ain't we-uns met before somewhere? DJ nodded. We bumped into each other in the Indian Springs a couple days ago. Yeah? Oh, yeah. You ran into us when Roland and me was chasing our dogs. They'd been in a fight with some strange mutt. Alfred exclaimed, That was DJ's dog. Your pack nearly killed him. Yeah? The man shifted his heavy rifle slightly. Well, dogs will fight, you know. DJ thought of Hero maybe dying right now, and the boy's anger flared. Hero wouldn't fight unless he had to. He was tied up on a short lead. He couldn't get away, and he couldn't even defend himself. The long-haired boy laughed scornfully. Now, ain't that just too bad? DJ felt a rush of anger sweep over him. He raised his voice. I want you to pay for my dog's vet bills. And your dogs should be on leashes when they're in town. That's the law. Bo Rockner raised a hand from the heavy rifle. Easy now, DJ. I'm plumb sorry your dog got hurt, but nobody's gonna tell me what to do. That includes the law. This here's my law, and he patted the stock of his heavy rifle. DJ swallowed hard at the implied threat. Still, he was mad. It was hard to control such anger and frustration. Alfred helped. He laid a warning hand on DJ's stiffening shoulders and whispered, "Easy, DJ. Don't say anything more." Bo nodded. "Your friend talks sense. Now, me and my boy are going to walk out of here with our dogs. You forget you ever saw us, you hear?" DJ glared, too upset to trust his voice. Roland added a warning. "You don't, and we'll sick Bo on you. You might drive them two other off if you cuss and kick loud and long enough, but not this here brittle." "Shut up, Roland," Bo yelled. His tone made the two big dogs jump. They tucked their tails between their legs and slunk low to the ground. But Bo continued staring silently at DJ and Alfred. Father and son unsnapped the bridle's chain and started to walk away, but DJ called after them. "Mr. Knocknell, I can't just let you get away with it." The man turned around to face DJ and laughed low and mean. "Ha ha! You, sonny boy, anytime you think you can stop me, you just go right ahead and try. I won't have to lift a finger, 'cause Bo will take care of you and your four-eyed friend." The long-haired pair walked off into the dense shadows with their dogs. DJ was so upset he was trembling as he stepped away from the tree. "It's not right, Alfred. It's not fair. They hurt my dog, maybe killed him. I just can't let them get away scot-free." "Well, there's nothing we can do now, so relax and let's get to a phone." Back at Stony Ridge, DJ used to use the payphone outside the local mercantile store to make a call. Now, in case you're a lot younger and don't know, there didn't used to be cell phones where we could call anytime we wanted. So they would have little booths up, a little thing you could step into, and they had a phone that you could put some money in, and if you put that money in, you could make a call. Now, you couldn't talk all day. Maybe it would cost you, who knows, a quarter or $1 to talk for 3 minutes. And then you had to put in some more money. So they were going to go do that. And they were going to call the veterinary hospital in Indian Springs. After the call, DJ looked at Alfred through sad eyes. "No change. The vet says there's nothing anybody can do but wait until tomorrow afternoon. Then the danger should be past." Alfred laid a hand gently on DJ's shoulder. "It'll be okay. Let's go to the sheriff's substation and see if we can talk to the animal control officer about the Knockers and their dogs." The boys turned away from the payphone. DJ said evenly, "If the county doesn't do something right away about those dogs, especially the brittle, I'm going to." "Like what?" "I don't know yet. In fact, I should do something whether Hero gets well or not. Alfred frowned. You're talking strangely. Revenge isn't, and I will too. DJ interrupted. I'm going to do something no matter what. Whew. Well, DJ's really upset. I can't say that I blame him a bit. Can you? Well, that's the end of the story for tonight. I'll be reading again tomorrow. I want to pray that you are blessed inside your house and outside your house, in the day and in the night. And I want to ask you to always keep dreaming, keep a story in your heart. I love you, I really do. But more importantly, God loves you, and He always will. So, good night for now. Be reading with you tomorrow.